Hosted by you/throwaway bad son Orna. I, 31M, have 3 sisters whom I love and a mother I adore. That wasn't always the case, though. I hated them when I was younger because, while my father, 67M, would yell at me or belittle me for everything imaginable, they were the apples of his eye. I did my best in school and extracurriculars, but nothing impressed him, not when I earned a full scholarship to a prestigious university, not when I was the valedictorian of my class, and not even at 26, when I started my own small company, which has grown considerably since. No matter what I did, I was made to feel worthless, less than a person, good for nothing, useless, a failure. I still have lingering issues because of it. When I was younger, all I wanted, just once, was for my father to say, "I'm proud of you." But he never did, not even close. Instead, he doted on my sisters and mother. I'm not proud to admit that I hated them for it just as much as I hated him. How dare they get away so easily? How dare they receive his smiles, laughter, and kind words while I endured only cruelty? It took me a long time to build a relationship with my sisters and mother that wasn't fueled by jealousy or anger. Today, we're all very close. I love them to death and would do anything for them. Some time ago, my father was diagnosed with cancer. He's also had other health issues, including 2 heart attacks and a stroke. It seems as if his body can't carry on anymore. He's dying, and I don't care. I don't have it in me to care. If he died, I could live the rest of my life without seeing him again or attending his funeral. He wasn't at my wedding either. I didn't invite him, which was very noticeable to many of my family members, but I didn't care. I'd found a woman I love, who loves me in return, and I wanted to share that day with the other important people in my life, those I love or strongly like. My uncle has always been sympathetic to my situation. Growing up, my father, his older brother, was a jerk to him too, so he understood why I didn't want my father there, even while other family members thought I should have invited him. Now here's the thing, my father wants to see me. He probably has only a few months left and now wishes to see me. My wife, mother, and sisters all want me to pay him a visit. My wife thinks I should go just once, but she isn't pressuring me. She knows my history with him and says that if I decide not to go, then that's it. My mother and sisters, however, do think I should go and have spoken to me about it several times over the past month. The only person who's stopped bugging me about it is my older sister. I'm the second child. She's 34, and she saw my father treat me badly from as far back as either of us can remember. My other 2 sisters are much younger, 26 and 25. My older sister and I met recently to talk about it, and for the first time in years, I broke down crying. I just let it all out. I told her I can't do it. I've tried to put everything in the past, but I can't. I hate that man and what he did to me mentally. I can't forgive him. She said she understands and offered to talk to my mother and younger sisters. However, my mother and younger sisters tend to be very pushy. So, what do you think? Should I go at least once? Commenter. I had a father who wasn't abusive but certainly wasn't emotionally supportive during my childhood. He paid a lot of attention to his biological kid from another marriage. Our relationship got much better over the last few years, mostly because we made an effort to understand each other better. If I were in this situation, I'd be there, and it wouldn't be an issue, because he made an effort while he still had years ahead of him. The reason I'm telling you this is that I'm 3 years younger than you. Yet it seems that during this entire time when your dad thought he'd live forever, he never really made an effort to reach across the aisle, apologize to you, or make amends. Not to be a jerk, but deathbed confessions are cheap. His ego is finally out of the way now that he's facing his mortality, but where were these feelings during those 31 years? Your mother and younger sisters are thinking emotionally and are being extremely selfish because this is what they want. They want some cathartic moment to justify doubting you all these years and to validate their view that your dad was some great guy. Screw that. That's all this is. It has nothing to do with your well-being. I think you're better served by staying home and standing up for yourself. If they call you selfish, a jerk, or anything heartless like that, ask them where they think you got it from, then hang up and let them deal with it. They were on each other's side during his life, so why should death change that? Ops response. This actually makes a lot of sense, the way you explain everything. To be honest, the idea of helping him make peace with himself and me after years of being treated like dirt makes me sick. The thought that this guy, who is the reason I suffer from bouts of depression and was even suicidal in my late teens, might now want to tell me he's sorry, it doesn't sit right with me. I wouldn't even be surprised if he told me I'm still worthless, at which point I'd have to avoid punching a dying man in the face. Update 3 weeks later. So I went to see my dad, and it basically went like crap. I caved. I effing caved and decided, screw it, I'll see what he wants. Maybe this is something worth hearing. I visited the hospital by myself. No wife. No mom. No sisters. Just him and me. He looked old and tired, and just as I predicted, I didn't find it in me to be angry. This wasn't the man I remembered, this was just some old, broken man. It would have been a waste of my time to feel angry, and yet I did. I was so pissed off because I couldn't stand across from him, eye to eye, and let him see that the son he treated like dog crap had built a wonderful life for himself. We didn't say anything to each other for around an hour. Then, eventually, I found my voice and said, "You know this is the last time we'll ever see each other, right?" No response. Then he replied, "I know." So I asked him, why now? Why did he want to see me so badly that he had to send a message through my mother for me? And here is where I learned that my existence was worthless to him. He admitted that he did it just to give my mom closure. She didn't ask him to do it, but he knew she wanted it. So I asked him why he treated me the way he did my whole life, and he replied, "I never wanted a son, never had any interest in one." It effing hurt, but I kept listening, and he kept speaking. He said that in the first few years of my life, he tried his best to care about me, but eventually, he realized he couldn't. Then came the final nail in the coffin of my relationship with that man. I never loved you, but I didn't hate you either. I just didn't care for you because I never wanted a son. I wanted to give you up for adoption when you were younger, but your mother would never have forgiven me. So I did my best to push you aside, and you would always try and get my approval for stuff. I felt bad at times, but I just didn't care for you. By that time, I was crying. Me, a 31-year-old man, left my dying father in his hospital room and went to my car crying. I could have gone my whole life not knowing that. Screw my mom, my sisters, my wife, and my dad. I'm just so pissed right now. There was a part of me that hoped we would bury the hatchet. Nope. I just learned he never gave a crap. I will never speak of my father again. I will not attend his funeral or visit his grave. When he dies, I'll be at the bar drinking because the scumbag is gone from this world, and I will do everything I can to be the father he never was. Op in the comments. You know what I regret? I regret listening to my mother. I regret reading the dozens upon dozens of PMs and comments telling me to go see my dad, that I needed to do it. Most of all, I regret listening to myself, to that small voice telling me this was my one chance to hear him say something I'd wanted to hear since I was a child. If I'd never gone, I would have been curious, but I'm damn sure I would have regretted it less than I regret going to the hospital. Edit. I just want to say thanks to everyone for your kind words, both in the comments and PMs. They really helped a lot, particularly while I was hungover this morning, lying in bed and thinking about life. Also, to the stranger who gave me gold, thank you. I've never had that before, and it was quite unexpected. I've got a ways to go still. I feel like yesterday opened up wounds I didn't even realize I'd never fully healed. I'll be talking to my wife about it and most likely to a professional as well. I won't cut my mom or sisters out. I'm not angry at them. Their experiences with my father were different from my own, and I don't fault them for that. However, right now, the best thing for me is just to not be around them as much. So I don't think they'll be seeing or hearing from me for some time. Once again, I sincerely thank everybody. It was your comments and PMs that made me realize, yeah, it hurts like crap, but I can't let him have any more power over me. I'm in the prime of my life, and I've built a good life for myself. I don't need a dying man's approval anymore because I've done the best I could for so long without it anyway. So here's hoping things will get better soon.